Hi guys, it is Tamara. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the incompetent stalker. And one of the reasons why I want to talk about this is because incompetent stalkers are among one of the largest group of stalkers. And, you know, these particular individuals really do lack social skills, but they also lack common sense. And that's partially why they're labeled incompetent. So there's a couple of things that I want to point out in today's video. So let's just go ahead and jump in. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. For all of you who are subscribed and participating, and for those who are new and don't have a clue as to what my channel is or what we talk about, I encourage you to first hit that subscribe button so you can stick around with us and be a part of our community. And then I also want to introduce myself to you. My name is Tamara, and I'm an internationally and board certified trauma therapist, but I'm also licensed in mental health, and I specialize within my practice in treating children, teens, and adults who have mental health issues and trauma histories. Let's jump in. You know, last video I talked about the rejected and the resentful stalker, and these are individuals who tend to really entrap their victim. And that could be a therapist who's a victim. That can be a person in a romantic relationship. It could be a business partner. It could be any kind of relationship that had some kind of relevance and importance to the stalker. Okay, so they become a little bit resentful because you've rejected them. So I talked about that in the last video. So I encourage you to go check that out. But in today's video, I want to talk about the incompetent stalker, because this is the individual who lacks social skills. And there's a lot going on here. We have an individual who lacks the social cues necessary to, really engage. We also have an individual here who lacks the social cues needed to understand why they are being rejected, why they are being turned away, why the current relationship is no longer a healthy one. They lack the ability to understand that, to conceptualize it, and to move on. Most people, when they're rejected or when they're referred, if it's a therapist, a patient, therapist-patient relationship, or if it's a doctor, most individuals who are rejected, or, they're told that, okay, you have to go over this way, they walk away. It may be disappointing, it may be angering, and that's understandable. And that individual walks away. Some individuals get a little bit of an angry attitude, and they feel like, well, if you don't want me, I don't want you either, or if you don't want me, I don't want to be here. And that's normal. But incompetent stalkers lack that ability to do that. Somehow, somewhere in their mind, in the psychology of their mind, they believe that they have been wronged, that they deserve to have what they want, and that they deserve to put up a fight when you reject them or you say no. These incompetent stalkers tend to be rather immature, and, they may actually spiral into delusional jealousy, delusions of grandeur, feeling that they are a god or important or extra special. These particular individuals live in a world all, of their own. And that's the sad part about it. So I want to point out some things that you're likely to see in these particular stalkers, because I'm sure that you're going to run across them. They don't understand social cues, and they never will. So there's a couple of things that you also want to look for when you're dealing with an incompetent stalker. So you want to look for their desire to be a part of your life, and you want to know exactly what is that desire. Is it out of loneliness? Because most incompetent stalkers tend to be lonely. So they pursue their victims based on loneliness. They don't like being alone. They don't understand how to create long-lasting, healthy relationships. Or they have had a relationship, but it was codependent, which I talk about right up here in this video. It was codependent. It was dependent and unhealthy. Or the boundaries were rigid, or they were too fluid, right? They were boundaries that were not appropriate. So, this kind of an individual will definitely pursue a relationship out of loneliness. They don't understand relationships. It doesn't click for them. So you want to look at them, and you want to be able to see, you want to be able to evaluate, I should say, Are you lonely? Is this why you're doing this? And if so, that's not necessarily an opportunity to feel sorry for the stalker. That's an opportunity to really protect yourself, because if they're lonely, they're being driven by a deep-seated emotion. Okay? Most incompetent stalkers also stalk out of a sexual desire or some kind of short-term connection. They want that connection with you. So what's the best way to do it? Well, I'm just going to find you and stalk you. Most stalkers tend to be those who are strangers to the victim. But there's also some research that suggests that stalkers are known to the victim. So it just depends on what you're reading, what you're finding out on Google, online, in articles. But most research suggests that stalkers are strangers to the victim. And so they will find you online. They will find you on a YouTube channel. They will find you on a website. They will find you by, just looking up your home address, whatever they can do. They'll find you, look at a picture. Maybe they'll find you on Instagram too. And they immediately create this internal world of you in it. And in their mind, they can be a part of that if they just try. And so these particular incompetent, immature stalkers, they want a sexual relationship or a short-term connection, and they'll go to any measure they need to get that. Okay. The next thing is that you're going to find out, probably from this particular stalker, that, they have a desire of you from afar. Maybe you had no clue that they saw you in the particular light that they're seeing you in. So, you might find yourself feeling a little bit confused as to, why they're connected to you like they are. Like, aren't we strangers? And one of the reasons why they're overly connected with you is because they probably desired you from afar. You just never knew it. And that is the spookiest thing I think most of us could experience, You really created this connection from afar, And so, I think that's the number one component of the unhealthy stalking relationship is, for the most part, the victim's unaware of how deep into this the stalker is. Okay. And last but not least, the individual seems to be indifferent to the victim and to the fear that they are causing and the fight or flight response that they are triggering and the anger that they are triggering. They're very indifferent to that and rather oblivious. And that's because they lack those social cues. These individuals are not socially astute. As a matter of fact, they may be on the autism spectrum. They may be more at the Asperger's end of things, or they just may be sociopathic and lack true skills. These individuals may be isolators, loners, and that's not to say isolators and loners have stalking tendencies. That's just to say that these individuals lack connection and they want it and they don't know how to get it. So sometimes that loner, that internalizer, that one that withdraws or stays out of the spotlight, sometimes that's the one who's likely to stalk you. Okay. Usually stalkers pick their victim, and when they pick the victim, they go to any length they can to get a hold of that victim. And sometimes they will reach out in person, and if that's rejected, they will reach out electronically, email, cell phone, text messaging. It could be, what else is electronic, guys? Social media. Sometimes, they will do that. And if they can't reach you in person, electronically, or through social media, then they're most likely going to go to your family and your friends, sometimes even your boss. They will go to whatever length they feel that they need to go to in order to seek out their prey and to get what they want. So these incompetent stalkers really are a nuisance, and they can really put fear in the victim because the individual, again, is lonely and they desire something that really doesn't exist. It exists in their mind, but not in reality. So if any of you have experienced this kind of stalker, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for being with me in today's video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around, and that bell button so you can get notifications every time I post a new video. Next time, we'll be talking about the next category of stalker, or of stalkers, I should say. So let me know in the comment section below what you want to see in this topic, and I'll try to make it happen. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.